Indigenous Rights Radio, because knowledge is power.
Cultural Survival will be hosting their summer bazaars in Newburyport, Massachusetts on July 20th and 21st, and in Tiverton, Rhode Island on July 27th and 28th. The Cultural Survival Bazaar Program goals work to support the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, Articles 11, 20, and 31. Article 11 states that, number 1, Indigenous peoples have the right to practice and revitalize their cultural traditions and customs. These include the right to maintain, protect, and develop the past, present, and future manifestations of their cultures, such as archaeological and historical sites, artifacts, designs, ceremonies, technologies, and visual and performing arts and literature. And number 2, states shall provide redress through effective mechanisms which may include restitution developed in conjunction with Indigenous peoples with respect to their cultural, intellectual, religious, and spiritual property taken without their free, prior, and informed consent or in violation of their laws, traditions, and customs. We spoke to Benson Kitesho to find out more about his artwork and what the bazaar means to him.
I'm Benson Kitesho. I'm 45 years of age. I'm a married man with 1 wife and 5 children. I live in Kenya. I'm a Maasai by tribe and I live in Kajiado, Kenya. I'm also a social worker by profession. In the CBO that I represent Reyes CBO.
Benson described the community that he's from and how art is a part of that community.
The community that I'm affiliated to, I come from Maasai community, which is in Kajiado, Kenya, as I've said earlier. And this community is a Maasai community which deals with bead work as an art and leather work. That is in the past, Maasai community since ancient time, since time immemorial, Maasai community have been using leather as their clothes. So they wear the leather from cows, goats as their clothes. And actually, they use them to decorate with beads and design them to fit their cultural and traditional events and occasions. So the community involvement, since long time ago, Maasais have been using this leatherwork and beads as their identity as Maasais who live in southern part of Kenya. So actually, the tradition is well known. And again, they use it so that Morans can use it when they are going for traditions, weddings. Women also when they are going for weddings and traditional culture and singing. So this leatherwork and beadwork really is part and parcel of Maasai community. Again, women and men earn a living through these beads. Today, Maasais who have not gone to school, or they have not, at least they're not employed, have employed themselves using beads and leather. So they can take them to the market because it really attracts the tourists. It attracts other tribes in Kenya to wear bangles, bracelets. We have necklaces. We have we have also the sandals that are decorated in Maasai beads and leather. So that one, again, they're using it. Women and men are using it as part of their earnings. Again, through that, in terms of still involvement, women who are widows and having orphans are doing this beadwork so that they can pay the school fees for their children. At least they can meet their basic needs. They can be able to pay for their shelter or their houses. And again, to an extent that if they do it in a big scale, they're also going to buy goats and sheep so that they have at least a small income for themselves and their children. Lastly is that, again, when they buy these goats, they can supply milk, goat's milk, and again, they can still sell that goats and sheep so that they can buy one cow. And maybe through that, the cow can also provide milk so that they can be able to sell it to markets, hotels. So it's part and parcel. So I can attest that the involvement of beadwork and leatherwork, it's part and parcel of the community that I come from. So as an artist, I love the culture and I love how it's earning my community. I like the way other tribes and at least worldwide have appreciated the culture. And I've really, especially like dances for the Maasai, we still make a lot of work with the leather. So that at least when the Maasai are singing, when the Maasai are dancing, when the warriors are dancing, when women are dancing, they can still use that beadwork. It's part and parcel of this community.
In our experience, we have seen that it can be quite difficult to be an artist. Some of the artists that we have worked with in the past have some challenges in taking their art to where it can be sold and connecting with buyers. Making a living can sometimes be difficult for artists. We asked Benson to comment on the struggles of being an artist.
Being an artist needs more time. It needs more time. You decorate and design the beads and leather work as an art to fit the culture and traditionals. So being an artist, we need more time. We need to decorate. We need to design that leather and decorate it with beads to fit our culture, Maasai culture, and fit the traditional and tourism to be a tourism attraction points. The second struggles that we go through, we have limited resources, e.g. for mobility. You might have employed women. We work with women to do beads and decorate leather with beads. So for you to move from one area to another, we need a lot of money, at least to go around. We need resources for mobility, and we need also to pay them. So labor cost is also another challenge or a struggle. The third one is we have what we call the purchasing of beads, because beads are being purchased at a cost. Beads and leather as well, because when someone slaughter a cow, slaughter goats, slaughter anything, we have to take the leather. So we take it to an industry so that it's done, it's smoothened. It is designed to fit maybe the belt, to fit the sandals, to fit a cloth that Maasai can be able to decorate, especially during weddings. So again, that one, to go and purchase also is another challenge. Again, we have another challenge, the fourth one, the reliable markets to sell the art, the leatherwork and beadwork. So our art also has a lot of challenges in terms of market. So we are trying to source for markets for our women, for our children who have just finished high school, who at least are waiting to generate some funds. So again, those are the challenges that we go through as I go through as an artist. Because once they know that you're an artist, they all come to look for work to do. They all come to get work to go and do. I mean, you can get others that are going without that work. So those are the challenges that we do.
Artists who have showcased their art at our bazaars have generally been pleased with the outcome. Benson has not attended one before, and he commented on what he expected from his first visit to our bazaar.
Yeah, so your last question is if I've ever attended the Cultural Survival Bazaar. No, I've never attended, but I've been invited for the December one, and I've also been invited for this one, the July one. And this one, I'm attending it with a lot of joy. One, I was introduced to Cultural Survival Bazaars by a friend who I've attended. And they're really so much interested by the way Cultural Survival have done an exchange program for all the artists. So that you learn to learn from them about how they tackle their struggles, their challenges. You get to learn from them. So when I go there, I will expect to meet other artists around the world and appreciate their work and design. The second one thing that I expect is that I expect to learn more about cultural survival and appreciate the work that they do. The other one is to do more exchange programs, at least to get to learn from others. The other one that I expect when I go there is to promote Maasai culture worldwide, because Maasai culture is known. Maasai culture is a tourist destination. At least their leather work and beadwork, it really attracts, as what we've seen here in Kenya and northern part of Tanzania. The other one is I also appreciate the work of other artists and promote them. If there is something that I can get from other artists that I don't have, I can still buy from them, because it's all about exchange program. The other thing that I like about what Cultural and Survival have done is that to make sure they connect you to the world. So I can feel that I benefit more, even more than the Cultural Survival Bazaars. Because the Cultural Bazaars, as you go to display and showcase your art, at least you'll have something small and the women will benefit. So I think for me, I'm expecting to learn more. I'm expecting to have more exchange programs with Cultural Survival Bazaars. And again, to interact with more other artists and learn. Thank you.
For more on the rights of Indigenous peoples, visit cs.org and follow Cultural Survival on Facebook and Twitter.